Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar arpanamastu. Once again, today it's another auspicious day. It's a day they do Abhishekam with the cooked rice. As one could see, a very, very special day, a very auspicious time. This is evening twilight added to it. So we have been extraordinarily blessed by Bhagwan to be able to gather here to watch the puja and join the Nama Sankirtan. We have offered the Nama lotuses at the holy feet of Bhagwan. Now before we offer our today's prayer, we shall see what Bhagwan had to say about the continuous Nama chanting. Why it should be done non-stop, incessantly. Bhagwan used to say that in Ayodhya, in Ramayana, a well-known story, how they announced the coronation of Sri Rama to the overwhelming joy of the citizens of the country. There were such celebrations everywhere, a joyous celebration. And there were a lot of dancing and singing. Everyone loved Sri Rama so much. Everyone looked forward to having him as the king of their country. And everyone was overjoyed. And there were celebrations and celebrations all over the country. And then Bhagwan said, look what happened. None of us would know what would happen in life. There is no way to know. Anything could happen to anybody at any time, unexpectedly. And soon came the announcement that Sri Rama was going to the forest for 14 years. Just imagine how those Ayodhya people would have received this news after all that celebration. When everybody was overjoyed, overwhelmed with joy at the news of his coronation, there was one soul, Manthara, who felt it would be the ruin of Kaikeyi and Bharata. Immediately she rushed to Kaikeyi, who was extraordinarily fond of Rama, who was thinking of Rama all the time. She rushed and poisoned her mind against Rama, and the rest is Ramayana, history, and Itikash. So Bhagwan said, pointing out, just see, you would never know when the fate would enter. Kaikeyi, who was thinking of Rama all the time, for a few moments, she gave in to the poison of Manthara, and what happened? the fate entered. And of course, Sri Rama was beyond all that. He took everything as a gift of grace from God. And so, to him, it turned out to be a supreme blessing because he had continuous satsang of the great rishis of the forest. And what was more, he could achieve what he had come into this world for. He killed Ravana to the joy of the rest of the world. So for him, the whole thing turned out to be a great blessing. Because he looked upon it right from the beginning, even at the announcement. He was not grief-stricken. He was not agonized. He took it calmly as a gift of grace from the Lord. And it turned out to be so for him. Kaikeyi, who had completely given herself to Rama and her love for Rama, momentarily forgot Sri Rama, and the poison entered her mind, and the whole rest of her life turned upside down. It became the ruin. She lost even the love of Bharata. And the Ayodhya people again. Though there were celebrations and celebrations, they could not look upon it as a gift of grace, as Sri Rama did. And then they suffered the separation of Sri Rama. Bhagwan warned people, this is what happens when you forget the name of God. Your past karmas, your fate, is just waiting around the corner to enter. It will keep away as long as you remember God, as long as you remember the name of God, as long as you keep chanting, calling out to God. But in unguarded moments, when you forget, then the fate takes over. Beware. Remember God. Remember God. Practice. He wouldn't stop with one word, practice. He would say 3 times, practice. It's only when you forget God, your past karmas will enter and play havoc in life. But if you do it ceaselessly, every nama does its transforming work, and the nama has the power to destroy, to mitigate the effect of the past karmas, and sometimes it removes it completely. So you have to choose between the two. Fate is inevitable, and yet it's not so. Where there is the name of the divine goes on incessantly. So the nama is our saving grace. Remember what happened to Ayodhya, what happened to Kaikeyi. A few moments of weakness, you allow the poison of the world to enter, and then it proves to be your ruin. So Bhagwan warned heavily, do not give place to this weakness. Continue to remember the name which destroys your past karmas, gives relief, makes your everyday life easier and comfortable. So let's remember and fill up our days with the nama of our Bhagwan, which is our Kalpataru, the wish-fulfilling tree. This is our Kamadhenu, wish-fulfilling cow, the divine cow. And it is Chintamani, the wish-fulfilling precious stone. And let's now start begging Bhagwan, as we do every day, again and again, 1,000,000 times, for His immediate divine intervention to release the entire humanity from the clutches of these collective sins, from the viruses of both body and the mind. The mind has viruses too. Your anger, uncontrollable anger, and grief, depressive, and fear, a killer fear, panic, and jealousy, vengeance, multiplying the desires one after the other and making them your needs and whatnot. Only the divine can destroy, can uproot all these negativities from the hearts of people. So let's appeal to His infinite compassion to remove, to uproot all these negativities from the mind, arrest the rapid spread of the diseases, enter those medicines which would work because of the presence of the divine in them, to uproot the entire clan of viruses of both body and the mind. Let's beg again for the protection and all-round welfare of all those selfless people who have learned to work, slog, for the sake of the others. We shall beg again for a lift to our economy, and now above all, we seek His blessings again and again and again for constant remembrance of His name, His powerful, auspicious, divine name. And let's beg again for the right attitude to life, the attitude of devotion, dedication of one's life to God with gratitude. We are already only instruments in the hands of God, because it's the divine that is inside us, is activating your breathing, because of which your brain works, your eyes see, your ears hear, your body moves. It is He who is the real doer. Knowing this, let us run our everyday life as His instrument, as an offering to Him. And finally, let us pray for that supreme blessing of the ultimate peace, love and joy, the state of fullness, the state of bliss, so that we could see only His presence in everything and everyone, everywhere. We could see only His divine, delightful Leelas in all happenings of life. And above all, see His extreme grace, even in the worst sufferings of life. Let us seek the eternal living in the Supreme forever and ever. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.